Today, I'm headed to Copenhagen to catch my first ever Air India flight out to Delhi. I got a business class fare that was too good to resist. A lot of people warned me about flying Air India on the Dreamliner especially, but Air India is in the middle of a renaissance with new planes, lots of investment, and what sounds like a whole new approach. So let's find out. Is this going to be a terrible flight like everybody told me? Or might it surprise us? Let's go to India. So I live near Stockholm, and about 5 months ago I saw on the Luxury Flight Club newsletter that Air India was offering business class round trip Copenhagen to Delhi for $850 US. I've been meaning to get out to India for ages. I wanted to see firsthand all the growth and change that's happening there in aviation and experience the new Air India, but also I've had so many messages from you guys who watch this channel and follow me on social media who are out there in India. I got the sense enthusiasm for aviation is just so high out there, and I wanted to see that for myself too. Anyway, all that means I booked the flight for a week-long trip on random dates in late August, and then decided to switch things up by catching the train over to Copenhagen from Stockholm instead of flying. I had a great ride down, even though this takes several hours. When things don't get delayed, it's such a relaxing way to travel, and crossing the Öresund Bridge is such a highlight, at least for a transport nerd like me. Alright, made it to Denmark. It only took about 5.5 hours. Better than driving anyway. That'd be about 7 or 8. So good so far, not too late. Plenty of time to make my flight. I decide to check out the Aviator Lounge here at Copenhagen. This lounge is very small, but it's got an okay selection of drinks, and I found a seat pretty easily. I did not take 3 oranges, however. Someone else did that and then just left them there. What can we say? People do odd things at airports. And here we are at the gate, Air India's 787-8, which is a real workhorse for them on European flights. At some point soon, I'm told these are getting refurbished with new cabins, but for now, it's going to be very retro. Alright, welcome on board Air India, the 787 from Copenhagen to Delhi. It's my first time ever flying Air India, actually. I've been to India once before, but it was over 20 years ago. And it's so interesting now to see this, a vestige of the former Air India. They're undergoing this massive rebirth now with new aircraft, new products. This is not it, but I'm really curious to see how it is kind of overall, despite this being an older product on the 787. And not a very long flight from Copenhagen to Delhi. Surprisingly short, actually, I think, for many, at least for me. 6.5 hours or so. And will be my first time crossing through Russian airspace, actually, since all that kicked off. And I can't say I love it. Doesn't make me feel great being anywhere near that, but you know, it's just be looking forward to when we get over Kazakhstan. So let's see how the service is. It should be interesting, and let's do it. Let's take off for Delhi. Super psyched to get to India and meet some people there, see some stuff. So we've got a blanket and a mattress pad type thing here, plus some slippers. Full-size bottle of water and a little storage here, but not much. Seems like a really good cruise so far, and I just got handed this really lovely little amenity kit in a pouch. So I'm already impressed more than I expected in terms of soft product here. Hard product, you know, it's old school, and it's not the most comfortable seat. This weird kind of armrest, it's kind of too narrow, and well, obviously you have the problem of a seatmate potentially. There was a guy in the aisle here, but I don't know if he moved or not. I can't really tell. He hasn't been back for a while, so maybe I got lucky and I'm not hemmed in here overnight. But anyway, not so bad. It's spacious, and it feels very spacious overall, the cabin. So let's check out this amenity kit pouch. I can figure out how to open it. I made a mess of this. I totally screwed up opening this thing. I may never get it open now. All right, I got it. It only took about 5 minutes. Socks. So you got socks, you got eye shades, and you've got lip cream, hand cream, body lotion, body cream, moisturizing things. That's it. It's not a huge selection inside the kit, but pretty nice anyway. There's also pajamas, which are great, and headphones, which are mediocre. I gotta say, overall, I love all the branding, all the new Air India branding, the colors, the way they do the boarding passes with the colors. It's kind of old school these days. Not that many airlines do it, and the menus look great. And it seems like a very nice bar menu as well. Quite a few cocktails, quite a few mocktails, and a pretty nice champagne, Laurent Perrier. Maybe we'll start with that tonight. Try not to drink as much, but on these flights, it's just too tempting to have a sip of the champagne and maybe a special drink or two. Let's see, I'll try to take it easy. And I do need to remember to try and sleep tonight because it is a 6.5, 7-hour flight, and obviously you can't sleep all of that anyway, so it's going to be a short night. And have a busy-ish day planned tomorrow in Delhi. See how it goes. Should be an interesting time landing at 7 a.m. and getting through that whole day after probably, if I'm lucky, 4 hours of sleep. So. At least I hope they're going to dim the cabin lights because they've had it on full blast since we boarded. That's one thing I've been missing here is some of that 787 mood lighting. It looks like they do have it. Oh, here we go. Color's changing. You see that? Now, this would have been a little bit nicer to board too. I know they can't put it fully dark when they're doing cabin checks and all that, but the bright white when it's getting dark, it's just not a calming environment. I think we're lining up for the runway as we speak. Now, I've seen this mentioned in a lot of Air India reviews, but the entertainment system was barely functional and mostly frozen. It's an old system and clearly on its last legs. The moral of the story is always bring your own entertainment, but that applies to any flight because you never know. Lights back on somewhat after takeoff. Luckily they didn't go full blast with it. It's kind of a calming, not exactly mood lighting, but kind of. A little bit of light, slightly pinkish white light, but it's low, so that's my speed. And quite a nice takeoff despite not a huge amount of light. Smooth, nice, and I can't get the moving map or the Wi-Fi to work, so I don't know exactly which way we're pointed at this point. I guess we must be heading east over Sweden, but hopefully something starts working so I can see where we are, because that's part of the fun. The moving map did start to work on the seat next to me so I could watch as we neared the Russian border. Eventually, I did get the Wi-Fi to work, but realized this is not Wi-Fi with internet. Rather, it's a closed system that you can use to stream entertainment to your device. Unfortunately, although I could load the main menu, it wouldn't actually play any of the content. Just as well though, since I really should just sleep on this flight. Really looking forward to this. This meal really pleasantly surprised me because I've heard the food on board Air India is not generally all that good. It was full of flavor and very nicely presented. Really good. It's great stuff. Can I also say how great the cabin crew was? So friendly, offering a really warm and engaged service, checking up on me all the time. I was so impressed, and again, this went counter to just about everything I've been hearing about disinterested crews and mediocre service on Air India. They will also make your bed for you, and it actually looks really comfy, right? They put effort into setting this up nicely. It's pretty nice to lie down on too. I found it soft enough with just enough space. However, I was kind of pushing the limits of the length on this seat, and I'm just 178 centimeters, or about 5'10". Anyone taller, I think, would start to find their legs are pushing up against the seat back in front. The flight attendant insisted I should try one of the other desserts too, so I couldn't say no to that. Nothing like a big piece of chocolate cake right before going to sleep, right? Haha. Wow, I had the hardest time getting to sleep for a while, and then suddenly we were just preparing to land. It was very strange. Sort of sleep I wasn't aware of, and missed the whole thing. They still rushed me out this breakfast, despite the fact that it was basically a secure cabin for landing. It was amazing that they would rush to get me a bite to eat and a coffee. A lot of airlines would not do that, I'll tell you that much. So I appreciate that. The crew has been amazing, just really lovely people, great service. And yeah, it's just a bit too short to get any sleep, so I'm gonna be wrecked. But for now, doing okay, flying through some weather. It's hard to tell exactly where we are from the map or how high we are, but yeah, about to land in Delhi.
दिल्ली के इंदिरा गांधी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय एयरपोर्ट टर्मिनल 3 में आपका स्वागत है.
Okay, so definitely not the nicest day here, and the weather outside has made the windows totally fogged up, so I can't see anything outside, which is a real shame because as we were coming in, I got a nice view of a bunch of the aircraft you see here that I see all the time in photos from Delhi airport, but now I can't see anything. Don't know what on earth we're doing where we are. Taxiing to the gate. Presumably they can see up front. But yeah, just a lovely, lovely flight. I honestly came to this not expecting much. I knew it would be this old product, and I'd heard some reports of, you know, not the best food, not the best service necessarily even. Like, even the soft product was falling down a bit. in some others' experiences, but this really pleasantly surprised me. I mean, the crew really made it. They were so great. The two cabin crew who interacted with me the most especially were just lovely people, super attentive, high-end service, just really polished and you know, eager to please. And it's just such a nice experience. It's such a privilege and a luxury to get that. And I didn't expect it coming into this. I expected it on certain airlines and certain products, not here. So that was a very pleasant surprise. And you know, the seat is definitely not the newest and not the most comfortable, but it lies flat. There's enough space for me. I had the space next to me free. In the end, I passed out and got some sleep, so what more can I ask for? Lots of great amenities too, pajamas, amenity kit, decent, you know, nothing to write home about, but it's not one of these airlines that skimps, and that seems to be part of its effort at the turnaround, is to be an airline that offers more. That for a while it was not that. You did not look forward to a luxurious experience on Air India, and now it's coming into another version of itself, it seems like. Whether that's consistent across the board, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it necessarily is, but based on my one experience now, I would highly rate Air India. So, time to do the whole arrival and immigration thing. That should be interesting. Back in India, super fun, excited to soak in all of this and get going around the country a little bit too. For now, thanks a lot for watching. I'm Gabe Lee. Afterwards, I'm going to take one of those. Thanks very much. It was a great flight. Thank you. Thank you.